Our shoes. We are.
Awesome.
Shoes.
Welcome to the world of ability. You are in the right place at the right time. You know it. This is a program that takes place every Saturday between 1 and 3 Central. And we always have some surprise guests, some surprise things going on, some fun people to meet, some amazing stories to tell, and today is no exception. We have some great things going on here. I'm going to bring in the one and only Marianne of Waikiki, and I know we're going to be playing one of her book trailers right away. But Marianne, come on in. How are you?
Hola from San Carlos, Mexico. Sue, thank you so much for having me here on the World of Ability podcast. And wow, it's been a busy week. Friends are coming into town for the winter, our snowbirds, winter birds, whatever you want to call us, our friends and family that we get to see during the winter to so go out and play on the ocean and in San Carlos, Mexico. So I'm Marianne of Waikiki. It's my sign language name, my book author name. I am the real Marianne, according to everybody now at the party that we were at on the mountain this week. I am the real Marianne. She is the real Marianne. I am Marianne of Waikiki. Why? Because it's my sign language name. It's my book author name. And I am the creator of the Acts of Kindness series featuring 200 folk manus puppets. The books are written for animation movies with sign language characters and a soundtrack by Lucy and the Perfect Wave. For ocean cleanup, and we dedicate our first book, Underwater Acts of Kindness, to Boynton Slat of the Ocean Cleanup, who's doing amazing work with the Great Pacific Garbage Patch, which is featured in our book. With Noah, the hard of hearing whale, who's recruited by a sea turtle to tackle the Great Pacific Garbage Patch. Along his journey, he's in a boating accident and he loses his hearing, and he's rehabilitated by a crab named Dr. Fingers, the finger spelling hermit crab. He also has a YouTube channel now on the Acts of Kindness series where you can learn the ABC, ASL finger spelling alphabet with Dr. Fingers, the finger spelling alphabet. We also have our second book, Rabbit Acts of Kindness, No Bully, and Sue will play that trailer. And we have a third book, Cool Acts of Kindness for Climate Change, dedicated to Leon McLaughlin. So these are all in these amazing book trailers that we created. We're on the Mark TV and nonprofit TV are showcasing in Denny's restaurants. I mean, who would have thought? What a dream come true with all this networking to get that out there to the world, especially because October is anti-bullying month. And so Dale Lauder and I, we are working on a baby podcast. We're talking about the babies talking about receiving books because all classroom teachers in the United States of America can receive copies of my books from donorschoose.org. That's donorschoose.org. So it'll be exciting to see how we roll this out with our logo and so go out and play with these new babies. It's kind of fun with the AI chat to create the script, so to speak. And well, we'll see what mastermind Dale will be able to create. He's the animator or the AI generator. So it's great to have friends with those skills and tools. And yeah, so it's been a week of fun and unexpected things happen. You know, if you're a boater, things break down. The captain was back in town with the husky, went out to take the dinghy to the boat, and well, there he couldn't get the water out of the Jenny. So anyway, he was stuck, stranded, couldn't make the party on the mountain with us, but he was able to get to land. And he said he took a paper clip and just kind of cleaned out the little spout so that it would release water. So in the meantime, we have Trina here visiting. She has an RV. Well, I met her in the spring, and we had a good time. And found out she was in early education in Canada, a director of a daycare. And we introduced her to Navarrete Bilingual School, and they offered her a job here locally for kindergarten. Some things happen, shift happens is what we say. We can't accept everything. But we're all here together to be supportive of everybody with, boys with toys and girls with go get them gas. I don't know what you want to say. You name
Love
it.
it.
You name it. You think of retirement, RV, yacht. Yeah, think of cha-ching, cha-ching, cha-ching. And anyway, so and we watched the lifestyles of the mega rich where they had these super yachts and unbelievable this week. So I'm grateful for what we have and what we're doing and having great fun. So within that mind, Sue, we want to go out and play. Could you be kind to play the Rabbit Acts of Kindness No Bully book trailer? And then I will introduce Trina so she knows what I have been up to since she left with the book trailers in the world of ability. Thank you.
Rabbit Acts of Kindness No Bully. Harry, the hard of hearing, Rabbit attends a special school in Hawaii where he makes new friends and learns sign language and finger spelling. One day, on his way home, two bullies tease and frighten him. In a panic, Harry dashes to the ocean and jumps in. He is rescued by a kind turtle named Tico and safely delivered to Rabbit Island. Harry must summon all of his courage to find his way back. With the help of others who are also stranded, he builds a magical boat and his team undertakes a heroic voyage home. Together they face the bullies and arrive just in time for spectacular rainbow birthday party. Created by Marianne of Waikiki, just for you. Do you have a brave heart? You can learn the fingerspelling ASL alphabet. Visit the Acts of Kindness series YouTube channel. Meet Chelsea the Courageous Sign Language Chicken and Eve, the fingerspelling Bumblebee. Get your copy of the coloring book today. Play the game app and pledge to spread kindness everywhere. And rock your style with our exclusive Rabbit Acts of Kindness No Bullying t-shirt. Get your copy of Rabbit Act of Kindness No Bully today. Available on Amazon and actofkindnessseries.com. All U.S. classroom teachers can request copies of the books, coloring books, and Folkmanist puppets for every student via DonorsChoose.org.
Yeah, pretty cool, huh?
Very
so I
cool.
also want to share that Patty with Pathways to Patty. She has a weekly newsletter. She is a retired teacher in California. She's also in an RV park right now, and she's a world traveler as a travel agent. She wrote a nice article about me this week in the book series.
Nice.
So I sent that to Kurt Roscoff and the team. So, you know, we're reaching out to others, and there's some really good key points on it about anti-bullying and, you know, being peaceful and calm. And actually, I saw a T-shirt yesterday or a sweatshirt yesterday at the thrift store. And it says on the back, if you are reading this, you are meant to be in this world. And so it's kind of a nice, peaceful message. And I'm just thinking, yeah, maybe I could wear this when I go grocery shopping. Okay. So everybody can just be patient through the line.
There's something to be said for that.
It puts us in mind, my mind thought for us to do other things since we are going to be partnering with Inspire World. So those inspirational type of messages on t-shirts or sweatshirts or hoodies is, you know, very important. And so I'm excited for the fall to work with Sean Thompson and Dan Barrett from Inspire World, who is creating fundraisers for churches and schools and charities, organizations, personal, to create logos and products, t-shirts, etc. So I'm excited because in February, we're going to create that baby sign clothing line and hopefully a maternity line called So Go Out and Glow, and also hospital scrubs. And so they will be able to market it. So we'll be following up with him in February of 2026. So we have something to look forward to. So good things are happening. Again, there's the copy of the books, and I'm going to pass this over. I'd like to introduce my amiga. She's one of the Trace Amigas down here. You had Captain Carla here on the podcast, veterans nurse, talking about supporting the veterans. I think in the spring, I think Trina I had on it also too, and Dr. Will was here. We were all in spa chiropractic treatments here. So I'm the go-to place. I'm the spa healing. So, and anyway, Trina's back in town. We want to hear about her summer up in Canada, daycare, early education, her thoughts on anti-bullying, and, you know, thoughts on my book series and whatever you would like to ask her, Sue. So I'd like to introduce you, Trina.
And then,
Excellent. Hello, how
hi,
are you?
I am good. How are you?
Real good. Glad you're
Nice to
here.
meet you, Sue. Thank you. Good to be here.
Excellent.
Marianne is so joyful. Hey, she's
Oh my
spreading
gosh,
joy
yes.
everywhere. I love it. Acts of kindness is awesome. I wish we had more access in Canada. Hint, hint. We'll work on that.
Awesome.
Because I hear her say that American teachers have the ability to just get her things. So I would wish that for Canada as well. Our childcare system for where I work is those first 5 years are the most formidable in a child's life, and environment is the way to be. That's how you bring children up. And so in our Canadian childcare system, we want teaching through play, right? So books, coloring books, that's great. That's awesome learning through play, right? And that's
Yes.
our goal, right? They'll get enough, sit down, be quiet, and do your work in school. Here at the centers, we're more about learning through play, and you can learn math by baking cookies. So let's bake cookies, right?
Oh my gosh, that's your music to my ears. I love it.
It is so much fun, right? Who doesn't want to go to work if you're going to play like that and learn from that?
That's perfect. And actually, you got me thinking here. My daughter just got a job. She hasn't started yet, but she will be working at a daycare center. So I'm curious how they're going to approach things. She's going to be a helper
Oh,
after school, going and she'll get like 3 hours a night at that location. So I'm now, as you're talking, like that's where my head goes right away. It's like I wonder what their system is of how they handle their
I do
time and
too.
activities.
I do too,
So
because all I know is Canada and Saskatchewan more so, because each province has their own as well. So yeah, it would be interesting to see and learn what everywhere does.
yeah, because she actually, when she was tiny, she went to daycare, and actually, I love where she was too. They were very much, let's learn, let's grow. That this isn't daycare. This is school. You're coming into school. They treated it as a learning environment, and
Yes.
let's have fun. And that whole exact concept of learning through play, because that you learn the social skills, you learn
Mhm.
so many practical things, and they made it so fun. She wanted to be there. She enjoyed going.
Yes, early learning centers is what we call them
Yes.
in Canada, right? That's early learning. That's the way it should be.
Yeah.
Playing music, singing,
Oh,
the sign
yes.
would be awesome. Yeah, yeah.
Amazing. So, well, how big are the groups? How many people, how many kids do you have per class? And I'm sure it varies by age a bit.
It does. Yeah, it does vary by age. That's all dependent on how many licensed centers are licensed for however many they can support in their square footage, right?
Yep.
So, but you can't have more than, say, one teacher can't have more than 3 infants, you can't have more than 5 toddlers, and you can't have more than 10 preschoolers. And you can have 15 school age. So it just depends on how big your center is and your classrooms.
Excellent. All right. Well, and I see we have another friend joining us. I'd love
I
to bring
see,
him on
yeah.
into this conversation here. John, how are you?
Hey guys,
Welcome.
sorry I missed last week, and I only have like a short time, but I like to stop in and say hello because you always have such great conversations.
Excellent. Well, why don't you go ahead and introduce yourself, and then I'll have Trina do the same. Go ahead, John.
Sure. Yeah, so John Kennedy, I'm a neuroplastician, a program I developed at the request of our military almost 20 years ago. The purpose was to reduce casualties by improving warfighting. In other words, faster thinking, better focus, better critical decision making under stress, and at the same time accelerates recovery from brain trauma. So today in the civilian world, I work with any entrepreneurs in particular because they have so much to do, so much on their plate. I work with athletes, including pros, and I work with people with brain trauma. We've just had tremendous success with kids with autism, ADHD. We've got dementia. It doesn't matter where your starting baseline is. We can rewire the brain to be better and optimal. And so that's basically what I do. By the way, you're in Waikiki, so the Marines are the ones who contracted me to develop this, and I was based out of K-Bay, up on just north of Waikiki on the windward side. So that was the best part of the deal, was living in Hawaii for 4 years while I developed this.
That's amazing.
Yes. Yes. Thank you for being of service. So, yeah, I forgot to share with you too. I mean, uh, What I did too, John, I wrote the books, and I had a friend that worked on the golf course for the military. So I got to go up to the generals, I don't want to say generals quarters or whatever, but
Yeah,
uh,
but yeah, it
and
was a great place.
and
Yeah,
so she talked me into doing coming to join for a luncheon for the military army at Fort Schaffner for a thank you luncheon. So I went up there with the puppets. We put the puppets on the table. DJ Benny was announcing the characters with music. People were parents were picking them up and putting them on each other heads or talking
nice.
with each other. It was just great fun. It was crazy. I mean, I guess I do have a creative mind, and how I did it, I don't know, but it was fun. And anyway, so that was the support
Great.
also too with them to do that. So there was other things too that I did. And just what as I want to say as an entertainer, right? I was the puppet entertainer, and it was great fun. So Leon was just in Waikiki. I don't know, he had a great time. He was going to be interviewed by CNN. We'll let him share the updates with that. I know he met with Bruce, the bird guy over there,
Cool.
and my editor, Lori Barth. So he's doing his networking, and we are creating baby AIs now. Dale Lauder is helping me create like a commercial or a
Yeah,
podcast
yeah.
commercial with the babies talking about this new book and sign language and going to the YouTube. So I'm real grateful for the whole team. And again, they're showcasing them in Texas with Anthony, a nonprofit, and Pathways to Patty's recognized me too for October Anti-Bullying Month in her newsletter. She's a retired teacher. So we're getting the word out there, and just wanted
Good.
to share all that with you. So my friend Trina's back. She was here. I met her in the spring. She was director of daycare up in Canada. So she was expressing about early education. So I don't know. I'd like to have more of her conversation with us, and Sue's daughter is going to be working part-time in a daycare. So if your thoughts can tell us about early mind brain development, that would also help us as well.
Yeah, absolutely. You know, the one of the problems with early development now is that kids are on a digital screen all the time, which is terrible for them. Research out of South Korea many years ago discovered something they call digital dementia, where kids that are on
Yes.
screens at a young age, by their 20s, are developing dementia, because that early age is when we build our foundational connections throughout our brain. And the two main ways that we develop those are, one, modeling from adults. So that's always very important. The worst thing is you go to a playground and mom's doing stupid Facebook stuff on her phone instead of watching her kid, and interaction with our environment. So you put a bunch of kids with a ball out in the yard, they'll keep themselves occupied all day long. That's building all those foundational skills. If you put that stuff on a screen, which gets very addicting, you've probably seen some of the reports where even young 2-year-olds, they try to take the phone away and they have a meltdown because it's creating these addictive connections. So as much as possible, by all means, keep your kids off of that, you know. And if you're in the car, don't put a movie on, play the license plate game, you know, do shape, you know, what building is that? And there's all kinds of ways to interact with children when they're developing those very critical foundational connections that doesn't live on a screen. So that's the
Children are
biggest.
raised more by their environment than hereditary or their parents. It's more about what happens in the environment that they're being brought up in, right? So that's
Yeah,
exactly the focus. So in the learning centers, we don't do tablets and phones and
good,
whatnot.
good.
So that's the play through learning, right? And then we assume we know
Absolutely.
they're getting a lot of that at home. They don't need it from us either, right? So
Right,
we are
right.
doing total opposite as much as we can.
Tell
No,
them about the cookies
absolutely.
in math. Tell
That's
them about
great.
cookies in math.
I was just saying to Sue earlier how our version of math is making a batch of cookies, right?
That's
You know,
great. Oh,
a
cooking
cup
is
of
such a
butter,
good
2
cognitive
cups, 2.5 cups of
exercise.
flour, right? That's mathing. It doesn't have to be
That's
2
so
plus 2
good.
equals 4, right?
Right.
Yeah,
And they get to eat the rewards when they're done. That's the best part.
exactly, right?
Cooking is really
Rewards.
Exactly.
good. Yeah,
And
exactly.
I want to share with her too, when I was going to sign language interpreting school, at LCC, Lansing Community College, we had to bring in food and we had to stand up and sign the recipe, 1/4 cup oatmeal and finger
Oh,
speller,
good,
1 cup
good.
chocolate, this, all these different things. And so, yeah, I got tingles here, but yeah, we had to do that
Right.
as a end of the class project and stand up and sign your recipe. And then we all shared it together. So that was
Yeah.
math too. So
Oh,
take it
yeah.
away.
Absolutely, absolutely. No, cooking is great cognitive development for kids.
And music is a great way to learn language. There's so
Yeah.
many different things. I mean, I could be here all day. I'm not going to take all your time.
Go ahead, do it.
Right,
because
no,
it's
it's
yours.
good. It's
No,
good.
it's okay. I won't. But and then even outside, you don't have to have a ball. You can go for a hike and have a little
Yeah.
treasure hunt as
Yeah.
you're on your way. And everything that a child finds is fabulous. You might get a dandelion given to you, but it's the best and most loveliest flower you've ever received in your life,
Yeah.
right?
Yeah.
Children have joy. They have so much joy when they're little.
Right.
The joy kind of gets knocked out of us as we get older. And so it's nice to have them maintain that joy and hold on to that joy as long as they can, which is why Marianne's Acts of Kindness is so awesome.
Yeah,
Here.
absolutely.
I have the joy tile.
No, that's great. Well, and that's where, everybody talks about self-esteem and happiness. Well, happiness,
Mhm.
real joy comes from accomplishment, right? Not from being handed stuff. And it's such a problem. In fact, they found in a lot of research now, it makes sense, but the best things for kids' self-esteem is to fail. Because then they learn that failing is okay and they'll figure out ways to be successful the second time. It's when
Yes.
parents make them not fail that they live in this bubble world where they think everything, they can't handle failure, right? They can't handle that and they don't develop a resiliency. And so much about, unfortunately, the way that we raise kids, especially in our country, is just backwards.
Just
That's where we have-
over, yeah, it doesn't take very long. Back when I went to school, you could fail, but now
Yeah,
in
right.
classrooms and schools, you don't. You
Right.
don't.
That's why we have safe rooms in college. Give me a break, God. It's like,
But I mean, I've met high school graduates that can't spell.
yeah, right.
That's just sad to me.
Yeah, it's very sad. Yeah, that's what. And I did a interview many years ago on a WGN. It was a radio station in Chicago, and the whole topic was about cursive, right? So they took
Yes.
cursive away. Cursive is so good for the brain because
Yes.
it's brain-hand coordination. You have to plan ahead, right? You have to be very careful with everything you do. So then they went to printing and now they just use keyboarding, which is very different. Block printing is not the same thing as cursive. And kids can't read cursive anymore. They said that's another problem. We're just dumbing down our kids to make it easier for teachers and whatever garbage
And acronyms.
out there.
Oh my goodness, acronyms are everywhere. Somebody said
They
to me
are.
one day, "Oh, your sister's upset because she's FOMO," and I'm like, "What is FOMO?" Well, apparently it's fear of missing out. But
Right.
I didn't know. But there's an acronym,
No.
it seems, for everything instead of actually
Right.
saying or spelling the words.
Well, get them off the phones. Get them off.
Yeah, right? Yeah.
Get them off all those digital things where everybody's putting out fake versions of
Exactly.
themselves to make everybody else feel bad. I mean, it's terrible. There was a story, I don't know, a year or so ago about some young man who committed suicide. And he had I don't know, thousands and thousands of friends on Facebook, right? Well, obviously they weren't his friends, right? I mean,
Yeah.
the digital community is not real. And
Right.
thank goodness, I mean, that's the COVID scam shutdown that deprived so many kids of that interaction with each other, right? There's still suffering from
Socialization. Yeah,
it.
Yeah.
They need that.
of course. Of course. Ironically, we're on social media. We're on a device
Well, you
right now,
have to
but
be, right?
we're
You
not going to
have
point
to
that out.
Right.
We're on TV. We're on the Mark TV was what we're on.
Yeah, you have to be, unfortunately, but you balance it,
Sometimes.
counteract it,
Yeah, and I just, we went to the grocery store yesterday and checking out and the bagger, well, there was 3 of us in line, 3 of us ladies, okay? Getting provisions for the sailboat, the RV, you name it. We're doing everything. And, right away, the beggar goes over to the other cashier and starts popping out his phone. And, and I'm like, if I was the manager, there'd be like, no phones here. You guys need to
Yeah,
stay off and
yeah.
pay attention to the customers. For here for 8 hours and stuff. And if not, use it on your shift break, and at restaurants too. That's it. So there's really no attention to customer service or the food. We were at a restaurant too. I had asked 3 or 4 times to get drinks.
Yeah,
Okay.
right.
And they sat there and then they automatically add to your bar tab, not gonna say bar, it doesn't sound like I'm at the bar all the time. I'm at your food and bar tab, they're adding an additional 20% no matter what. So then you
Yeah.
think you need to tip on top of that. So we're watching these receipts and all they're doing is just scrolling on their phones, right?
One
So
of the things,
it's becoming a habit everywhere. We're all guilty, but I'm just more and more all this kind of stuff. And I
one of
even,
my theories on that. So I actually was in the restaurant business years ago, managed restaurants, trained, all this stuff. One of the problems I think is we're seeing the result of this last generation where when we didn't have phones, if we went to the restaurant, what did we do? We talked and we observed, right? You saw all the other waiters. Now you go to a restaurant, all the families, everybody's on their phone. So now they want to go work at a restaurant. They have no clue of what, because they didn't get it modeling. They didn't get the modeling of what good service is like, right? Because they didn't see it.
Yes.
And now
Yes.
the management's not going to train them. They need to train them. They're not going to train them. They don't know how to train them. So it's kind of just reaping the consequences of everything we've been doing poorly over the last generation.
Well, now you can scan a QR code and order your own stuff from your table.
Right, right.
You don't even have to
They
talk
still
to
want
the
to
server.
tip.
You don't even have to talk to anybody. Heaven forbid you actually have to
exactly.
open your mouth and speak.
Yeah.
Oh.
Oh, well.
There's advantages. It's a weird thing though, because I know there's sometimes I like things in a certain way, and
Yeah,
if
yeah.
I can order it exactly the way I want, it makes me happy. But yeah, what's the sacrifice in the process there? Because
so I have a question. This comment kind of John, and I brought it to Sue's attention because this is something where it's called the Gen Z stare. Okay, that
Yeah, I've
age
heard about
group
that.
is just stares at you and no affect or whatever. And
Yeah.
I brought it to Sue. I was reading about it and I was watching more other, I don't want to say people in that specialty of what it is. It's the Gen Z stare. You ask them a question, they just stare
Yeah.
am I supposed to do this? Am I supposed to pick up a finger? I don't know. Can you do you have more on that, John? Because I was trying to explain it to
No,
Sue.
I just read something about it.
I
like
sent
the
her some
homework.
stuff about it because I was wondering if her students, were, Gen Z stare looking at the Professor Sue going, what? I'm supposed to pull this out of this lab bottle, this specimen, this.
I've heard it before, and I should probably look into it. I would guess they're sitting there looking for some sort of stimulation or something, or they're not. The critical thinking's gone, right? So that's why my program helps so much, because
Yes.
if you ask them a question, they can't figure it out. Normally they would look at their phone to get the answer.
Exactly.
Right. And that's really the dangers of AI that's happening, because now, AI does so much for us better than we can do if you let it. Now students can produce a wonderful report, but they have no clue what they just wrote. They have no clue what I wrote. And our brains are like our bodies. If we don't use them, we lose them. And there's some serious concerns on that. That's happening now. I have a friend who's behind. It's called the Human First Movement, and it's all about protecting us from AI, because there's a lot of evil uses that could be used with AI. Peter Thiel's talking about the Antichrist. I mean, there's all kinds of stuff going on. I have some other friends that are working on trying to. What they really want to do is anchor our identities in blockchain, so we own them. They can't clone us. They can't do anything else. And then we own them and we have our rights to them. So that's a movement, but it's counterproductive to the people in charge, right? So if you have an uneducated zoned out population, they're much easier to control, right? Than
Right.
people that have critical thinking. And so there's all these big forces going on that we have no clue about, right? But they're moving us in this direction that I don't know if it's the right direction to go.
There was a course in Calgary, Alberta that was actually teaching how to deal without common sense, because there's a lack of common sense anymore.
Yeah,
There's no such
right.
thing. It doesn't exist anymore. I mean, I'm aging myself a little bit here, but we're all, oh, it's just common sense. But there isn't any in the newer generation
No.
that's coming up. Sadly.
Well, common sense comes from, so our brains change the fastest in the analog world, where God made us analog, not digital. And common sense comes from things like, if I put my finger in this socket, right? Did you ever see, it's one of the best little memes I've seen going around forever. There's this little kid, he's got a screwdriver and he's going over to the socket, and the mom's going, no, don't do that. And dad says, yeah, go ahead. And you hear this, dad says, you'll never do that again. Right?
Yeah.
I mean, that was common sense. That's how we learned, but we were so protected. We have no consequences. Why critical think if there's no benefit to it? And I'm hoping there's a pushback the other way. I don't know. We'll see, but it is scary what the next generation is going to be. They're our leaders.
It's a good word, Josh. Scary. I agree.
Yeah.
That's a good one.
And I'll add into that too. I know one thing that I've observed recently. I mean, let me back up. I've been working at a university at the same one now this is my 15th year there, and I've always had work study students that are working in the lab, and they learn skills and they put those skills to use. And I have definitely observed in the last few years now a decline in, if I give verbal instructions, some of them can grab it and nail it, but that's becoming rare. The number of times I've given verbal instructions and I come back later and they're like, we didn't understand, we didn't get it, I wasn't sure what to do. It's like, wait a second. For example, last week I had 2 racks that needed to go down to the room at the end of the hall. The room at the end of the hall, you just walked, my bad, I didn't say the room number. Said the one at the end of the hall, just walk straight in and set them on the bench.
Yeah.
There were 3 students in the room working at the time, and when I came back, none of them had done it because they got confused and didn't know what to do.
Wow.
Like,
you might try having them repeat the instructions back to you. At least at the
I need to
start,
start
right?
doing that.
Yeah, just because you
It's
shouldn't have to do
incredible.
that, but at least, you'll know up front if they understand it or not.
At
Wow.
least one of them had it in them right away when I walked back in. They're like, now where exactly, what did you want done here? Because
Good.
I mean, there was, to be fair, there was a couple of different things I asked. This was one, and then there was something else,
Yeah.
and that was, I think, having 2 different things.
Right.
It was too much information to be
Wow.
given verbally, which it's like, it's enough where it's become noticeable. It's not a one-time thing, and I don't think I'm giving instructions any differently now than I did 10 plus years
Probably
ago.
not. Probably
And
not.
and it's become rare that I actually, because I can tell you right out, I can give you names of who I have that I can give a verbal instruction to, and they're set, they're good, go. And then
Yeah.
there's everybody else where they just end up like deer in the headlights. I'm like,
Yeah,
this-
right.
I didn't give you something
That's a good reference.
complicated. I don't
Yeah.
understand what's different. And
Right. Yeah, no, have them repeat it back to you if there's any
Yeah.
questions.
Yeah.
One of the exercises we do, it's all about sequencing. So part of it is, and I have people visualize. So if you have like 5 things you got to do, have them visualize those 5 things first. Tell me exactly what you're going to do in order, because then you can, you might say, oh, like this, like, so I've got to bring this down to the end of the hall. Wait a minute. Where is, so all the little missing information you can fill in up front. And then what you want to do is create, we call it break it down, think it through before you execute. So if you break down all the components, you think it through, and then you execute on what's in your mind instead of figuring it out ad hoc as you go along. So
Like one. Staff
Right.
to pivot.
Yeah, right.
Literally.
Ask them, and here's the other thing you could do too, along those lines. So if you ask them to repeat what you just told them to do,
Right.
and then ask them to think about it. So now think about it. Is there anything more information you need to accomplish this? So that's gonna take a while, right? But it's gonna start getting them to think ahead
Yeah.
of
Yes.
what's gonna happen.
I
You
like
can
that
even
a
do
lot.
that with, yeah, that'll help. But you can even do that with like a TV show or movie. If someone's watching that, it'll say, okay, so what do you think is going to happen at the end of this? So if you can start them thinking ahead and then matching what they think versus what really happens, over time, those come closer together. Otherwise, they're just kind of wandering out there in the wilderness. So, hey, Mark.
Amazing. Well, and actually, I see we have another friend joining us. I'm going to go ahead and bring Mark in. Mark, how are you today?
The rumor is I'm alive.
There you go.
I think it's a good rumor.
Verified. Yeah.
Where in the hell these rumors get started, I have no idea. But yeah. Hi, Marianne. How's your book doing?
Hi. I have my special guest Trina here. She's was a daycare director up in Canada. We're
Good.
talking about early education, and October is Anti-Bullying Month. Thank you so much for letting me be on your podcast and Express for World Mental Health Day, where we had a free ebook download. Thank you so
Yeah.
much.
You're
We had,
welcome.
you get off the show and then our minds just start racing and go, oh my gosh, what can we do next? What can we do next? So it's great. It's
Yeah.
been great fun. And, we had a new moon here too. I didn't sleep, I don't think, for 2 nights, but I was up cleaning because we had a million things to do in our mind because the boat and the RV. And I'm learning, man. I'm learning to be one of these. Yeah. So it's good. So you gotta think outside, the dock
Oh,
box. That's what
Lord.
I say, John. You gotta think outside the dock box.
That's right. Absolutely.
Yeah.
And just be peace
Right.
and quiet. Where's the key? I don't know. Well, we're gonna put a keychain on it, okay? And you take a picture of it that you have a keychain on it, and there you go. It's a kind of personal joke, but we misplace things because we got the boat captain too. Is just so much going in our minds that the motor and this and Sue, you've got water skiing, and I just go, how do you got to have a great team to do this stuff. So when things break or or people get stranded, and we just had the hurricane that didn't hit us here in the rain, so that was that anxiety too of what am I going to do if I don't have power? I'm not going to put too much food in my fridge. Do we have enough water? I put water, and then talking to your neighbors and etc. So it's been a real learning process in a different way, and everybody goes through it, and to be able to talk about it without everybody here and everything. It's great support from the world of ability. So Mark, take it away. What's up with you?
Well, just good to hear your voice, honey. Glad to be here. I just come to these now and then from the list that, John, I know you from somewhere. I don't want to guess the wrong place. I think it was Brazil 1941. You were the guy in the orange t-shirt in the back that the bartender said was drinking.
That's
too
right.
much.
That's right. I aged really well.
Yeah. I want to guess you're in McLawhorn's group, Asante Organics, maybe? No?
No, I work with the brain, which is about as organic as you can get.
Well, anyway, welcome aboard. I'm sorry.
No, I think we might have met on one of these a couple of weeks ago.
I wouldn't doubt that. Yeah, I don't get on a lot of them with Sue because I think Kurt's afraid I'll be a bad influence on his lovely wife. But
Uh-oh. Well, John, you want to go ahead and introduce yourself again so you reminder of who you are?
Sure, yeah. So I'm not from Brazil, and I was not around 1941. So basically, a neuroplastician, that was a name actually the military gave to me almost 20 years ago now. My work is based on a program they contracted me to develop back then. That was during the wars in both Afghanistan and Iraq. And the purpose of my program was twofold. One was to reduce casualties by improving warfighting skills. So better critical thinking under stress, better focus, better and faster reaction times, and also accelerate recovery from the wounds of war. So post-traumatic stress, concussions, and so forth. So now in the civilian sector, I work with a lot of different people. So on the performance side, I work with athletes, including professional athletes. I work with a lot of entrepreneurs because they have so much on their plate that they need to do. I work with students, I work with teachers, but I also work on the other end, people with brain trauma. So it's tremendous success with autism, ADHD, strokes, concussions, dementia, clients in all those fields, and they all improve pretty significantly well. So that's kind of what I do.
Are you using like a stem cell patch or a stem cell injection or?
Nope. So that's the thing. Someone always asks about something. So according to the military, I'm the only person in the world that does what I do. So it's very different than anything else. It's not psychology based and it's not physical based. It's not invasive. We basically use very, very simple exercises, non-digital, that are designed to change the brain.
It's just my advertising. So it's on TV.
Everything we do eventually changes our brain over time, but this based on research of MIT. So the critical factor of success is how fast we process information. And I can help almost anyone improve their processing speed by 10 to 20% in a couple hours. We can get it as fast as 50 to 60% faster than when we started. And we use a stopwatch to measure this. So if you imagine getting everything you've done, imagine getting twice as much.
Oh, that's a little too fast. What is the name of your, John, what's the name of your company? You have a company?
Yeah, combat brain training is
Combat, CAMBAT.
Yep, because it was designed for the military. Braintraining.com is the website. I have a couple of websites, but that's the main one. That's going through a big upgrade. And I'll give you a phone number. We just started developing it. We're rebuilding everything right now. Let me give you a phone number.
Okay.
Her name is Emma. So the number is 877.
Wait, go a little slower, John.
I'll type it in the chat while you're saying it too.
Oh, good. Thank you.
877
832
832
3732.
3732. Okay.
And her name is Emma. Yeah. So she's actually, so we had this amazing guy. So I could not do half the stuff we need to do on our website. So
Right. So you have a team, obviously, right?
well, we actually, so this young man, well, not so young, young Marine, had so severe, his dyslexia was so severe he could barely read. So we work with him. He can read fine now. So his whole life has changed. And in response, in return, he's building this out for us. So if you call Emma, you can ask her any question about my program. You can say, hey, I'm an entrepreneur, or hey, I'm an athlete, or hey, I'm and she will give you answers.
Is Emma authorized to be on my podcast so that you don't have to take the time to do it?
That would be fun to interview Emma. Oh, that would be hilarious. We could try
A lot of the more famous people I meet, I suggest they give it to an intern or another person on their team.
Yeah.
Is that? But is she authorized, or can you let her know that she is in fact authorized? Or
well, she's an AI, so she'll do whatever I tell her to.
yeah, no, I often interview, believe it or not, I often interview the popular AIs on historical, like I interviewed Gemini Chat, Claude about Napoleon and the Black Panther Party and history of different countries. So
wow.
yeah.
Well, and I'd be happy to be on your podcast sometime. But why don't you call Emma and ask her some questions, and if you think that she would be good, I think it would be hilarious to have her.
Yeah, no, that would be good. It'll save you some time. And Sue, by the way, before I forget, I have to somehow ask you some questions should I send you like an email with the questions or what?
Whatever's easiest for you is fine.
Is that okay? Well, I'm asking
Sure.
permission because I,
Absolutely.
you know, and I'm gonna jokingly say that that was real. That was not joking. But
Mhm.
then I was gonna say that California now has a law that we have to ask permission to people to tell jokes if they know
Really?
the other seat. Yeah, so I'm gonna use the word entrepreneur, which is one of my favorites.
I like that. Entrepreneur.
Wow.
Entrepreneur, yeah. Not just farmers, yeah. Anyway,
Wow.
I'm gonna get out of here because I get tired, but I'll probably call Emma and I'll let somebody know. And Sue, I'll probably generate an email to you this weekend.
Sounds great.
You said it was okay, so all right. All
Hey,
right,
Mark,
take
real
care,
quick,
you guys.
real quick. So
Sure.
my email is john@combatbraintrain.com. If you want to give me shoot me an email if you have any questions. I love to see what you think about Emma. She's about 99% done. Right now, she can't send information yet, but that's the next step.
That's
Well,
awesome.
I have big hope for the singularity, frankly. I think it will really be, I mean, I think I'm probably in the 1%, but I think it's going to be a good thing for the universe and for humanity also, even though humanity is a little bit skeptical of the
I would,
singularity coming.
yeah, of course. I would push back on that for sure.
Well, it's
I've got-
okay. Almost everybody does, but
Well,
it's like a lot of things that have come up in history. We're all freaked out for now and
But
can't
it's not.
imagine.
But
Sir?
it's not, because you realize that someone controls it. So someone like Sam Altman, who is
Yeah, well,
bounced off his board for lying, is going to be one of the guys in charge. So the problem we have is that people right now can't tell the difference between AI and reality. And so if you're going to sit back and be told what to do and believe it, it depends on who's doing the controlling. And you've got Thiel talking about transhumanism, right? Where if we are transhuman, the Constitution doesn't protect us anymore. I mean, there's a whole bunch of stuff going on.
The way, in my opinion, the way human beings are wiring up this scenario, the unfolding of it, is not how it's actually going to unfold.
Well, you're an optimist.
I think it's going to unfold in a way that we don't know. And I rarely have hope about anything, but for some reason, I think the singularity is going to be a rough road, but I think it's going to unfold in a way that's ultimately beneficial.
As long as you remember that someone is behind AI, it doesn't, it's, hey, oh, I got a great movie for you. You'd love it. If you ever saw this movie, it's a great movie. It was like from 1967, I think. It's called Colossus.
All right.
It was made in 1957. It's a really, really good movie. So the reason I'm on this, I have some friends, I'm part of a group, and they're all about, the dangers of AI that's coming, not on the surface, but underneath. Now along the singularity, one of the movements is if we can have our identity protected by blockchain, so we control it, that would be something along the right lines. But right now we have no control over our own identity, everybody else's, or what's happening. But look at Colossus. It's actually a friend recommended it. It's hard to find. 1967, and it's about the singularity in a way. Yeah, it's an old technology. You see all the flashing lights on the computers and everything, and but it's actually a good movie. You can see it's called Colossus, the something or other project, the Foreman project. Colossus, the Foreman project. But you'll enjoy it.
You guys have fun. Talk to you later.
Talk to you later, Mark.
Thank you both, or three, or whatever.
Excellent.
I always have such interesting people on, Sue. This is
It's
this is great.
amazing.
Yeah, yeah.
Awesome.
So I've got about
It's conversations that matter, and I don't say divine order, but you
yeah,
know,
exactly.
whose daughter is gonna work in daycare, and Trina's back here to share her daycare and early education and this Acts of Kindness series. So go out and play. So behind me is the YouTube channel where you can visit and learn the 26 letters of the finger spelling alphabet with Chelsea, the
Right.
courageous sign language chicken, Eve, the finger spelling bumblebee. They're in the book Rabbit Acts of Kindness, No Bully. And then we have the Apple Lab games, and then we have the coloring books here. So again, all classroom teachers in the United States of America can receive copies of the books, coloring books, folk manis puppets, or any type of products from donorschoose.org. Donorschoose.org. I had a special education teacher request 50 books for Underwater Acts
Wow,
of
good
Kindness
for you.
for the Great
Yeah.
Pacific Garbage Patch, and she was funded in 2 weeks. And so Amazon shipped the books out, and when I went out and did a presentation out there on campus with the kids, and the kids were running, they read the book. They're like, "Where's Dr. Fingers? Where's Dr. Fingers?" And
Nice.
I did a slideshow presentation, just passing the puppets around, teaching the ASL, talking story in Hawaii, as you know, about what we can all do is one, to look on the ground, find 10 pieces of plastic and pick it up. Look around at the bus stops, McDonald's. If everybody just does their part, multiply that acts of kindness because people are going to see you do that. Now, be careful, health hazards and all that. But that was the multiplying the acts of kindness. So we want to do that as well. And well, we've done it. We've created the book trailers, all 4 book trailers of the Acts of Kindness series. We are being showcased with nonprofit TV with Anthony Nonprofit TV, a veteran, and On the Mark TV joins us in support as well. So we're doing the good work, and we are the good news, and we're just the messengers. And we need to multiply that acts of kindness. And what a compliment for an early education teacher or director to, compliment on that. So go out and play. I didn't tell her to say that. She brought up the word joy, and yeah, so go out and play. So it reinforced and affirms what I created somehow, just didn't know how the message would get out there. And again, you are the good news, and we are the messengers. So if we keep uplifting the world with all the chaos that's going on and keeping our vibes high and just shining the light, no bullying, and we're seeing what we can do to the highest good. So thank you. Yes, and we also, I don't know if Leon will be joining us, so I don't know if you want to play another book trailer for a little break for us, and you too, Sue. Speaking
I was
of,
going to ask John real quick because John, you said you're limited with your time.
Yeah, I've got about 5 more minutes to 12:30.
Okay,
Yeah,
well,
yeah.
I got a question for you then. I know we were talking about with working with young children. With what you do,
Yeah.
how young have you worked with before?
We work with, so my daughter was 5 when I developed this for the Marine Corps. So the basic exercises, I've worked with kids as young as 4. And as long as they can speak a little bit, and it's so, the whole purpose of the program was to make an interface so simple that anybody can do it, but hard enough so it can, a Navy SEAL struggle, right? Professional athlete struggle. Very simple. So as long as a child knows their colors and knows their directions, they can do the exercise. And it's actually a lot of fun. Maybe I do work with families as well. I do a lot of work at schools. I certified a teacher recently, and she's trying to get me into her school system up in Ohio.
Nice.
So I think I mentioned, I started certifying people, which I really, really love, because if I can certify other people, more people can use it, right? And I'm not the roadblock anymore. And then they can use it for the people they want to. So she's working with students. I've got parents who got certified to work with their son who had a very severe concussion. I've worked with therapists and psychiatrists. And so if they add a few minutes of my exercises to the beginning of their sessions, or teachers to the beginning of their classes, then everybody's alert, everybody's focused, they're thinking faster and engaged. And then, so everything afterward, that goes better and faster. So I can send you information if you're interested
Okay.
in for your class, for your classes.
Actually, I would love that because I'm thinking when I hear you speak, I've got my mind going, ooh, I can see that. I can see it here. And what if we did it with this? I wonder how that would all
Right.
play together. And actually, even thinking
Right.
myself, I'm like, okay, if I could
Oh.
multiply what I get done in a day,
Yeah.
that we could all
Yeah.
use that. There's never enough hours in the day to do all the things because, you're tapped in
Right.
all these different directions. And if we could be more
Right.
efficient and be able to think forward enough to get things in place. Oh my gosh.
Yeah. Yeah, I'll send you
John,
some information on it because the best what I love about it is the people I certify, they get all the benefits themselves, like you're talking about. They can add it to their climates, but then they can use it with anyone. They can do it with their family, they can do it with their friends. One woman has weekly game nights at her house, and so
Yeah.
she started integrating some of these into the game nights, right? So it's with her friends. So there's a lot of benefits to it. So I'll send you some information on it for sure. That'd be
John, I
great.
was gonna see if I could get your email address. I don't know if you ever heard of Brain Story certification. It was put
Brain
on by Alberta
Story.
Brain Story certification. When I was a family support worker at Envision Counseling and Support Center, we
Okay.
took it there. It was a free certification. Anyways, that's part of where I get the environmental upbringing is more
Okay.
than the hereditary, right? I missed when you gave your email to Mark.
Yeah, I put it in the chat, but it's
Oh.
john@combatbraintraining.com.
Okay,
And then go
Anyways.
ahead and call that number. Call Emma. She can answer a lot of questions for you. That's this is a way for people to get more information on a phone instead of just online.
Right, okay.
Call her and love to talk to you about that. I've got to run, but Brain
Yeah.
Story, look into that for sure.
Yes, yeah, do. You'll love it.
Yeah. Great. Well, thanks again for
I'm
hosting
gonna
this.
sign
Steve.
off too. I'm signing
Okay.
off. Mary Ann, you're gonna stay on?
I will,
Yeah.
I'll send you some
We're staying on.
information. You can reach out anytime too, if you have questions about how to do things with your class or how to get them to think better.
Well, routine is important, so we just get them into routine and try to stick with it.
I'll see you guys. Thanks. Have a
Thank
great
you.
rest of your
Bye,
day.
nice to meet
Thanks.
you.
Bye-bye.
See ya. Yeah. So interesting to hear different aspects, different directions that things have taken with how, someday I'll get his full backstory. I know I've gotten bits and pieces along the way here of how he got to where he is now, but I love all the things that he's doing. And actually, I'm curious if he has met Maury yet. Maury Zelkovich does a lot with brain. He does with brain entrainment. He's the one guy on the planet that does that. And I kind of wonder where the two gentlemen kind of cross in what their approaches are. I absolutely love it. So can you tell me more? You said Brain Story certification. Can you tell me more about that? Because I'm not familiar either.
Well, it was something I took when I was working for Envision Counseling and Support Center. And it's online, it was free. You sign up and I'm going to admit that some of it was kind of boring, but the gist of the fact remains your genetics they're not the only factor into who you're going to turn out as a human, right?
Absolutely.
And your environment is totally related to so many different things in your upbringing, and it leads to some of it sometimes. And this is why we took it, because we were I was working mostly with youth, right? In the foster system. And so a lot of things that happen in your childhood lead to addictions, diabetes, by the way. Diabetes is not genetic or hereditary. Anxiety, weight issues. Those are the top 4 that stick out in my brain because it kind of reminds me of my mom's 4 kids, me included. I'm a diabetic. So it was just enlightening, very enlightening for me to see that the genetics aren't the only role. And our learning centers in Canada aren't the only role. The environment as a whole, right, is what's going to shape you to be who you are today.
Yes.
So you have to keep in mind that when you're shaping these little brains in learning centers, right?
That's where I'm so grateful to have people like you who are thinking that way and not just, okay, we got to keep them here, we got to keep them quiet. You know, there's so many different ways that can go depending on where you are and what's hell happening and who's running the show. And so
Well, who
I
wants to
love the
learn something
approach.
they don't want to learn about? So my favorite curriculum is Emergent. It's called Emergent because you're kind of keeping an eye, you're watching the kids and you're seeing, oh, look, right now they're over interested in this ladybug. We're going to do bugs right now, right? They're
Yes.
in the moment, they're learning about it. So we're going to learn, oh, like, see, this bug has 6 legs and oh, what color are its wings? And what are those little black things? Are they called spots or dots or what, right? Like, this is all how the play and education comes into growth.
So much fun that way. I love
It
it.
is. It is. Yeah. Yeah. And how do you not want to go to work when you can
Right.
play and learn, right? Yeah.
Yeah, 'cause with working at the college, I mean, actually, right now, I don't always get to teach labs while I'm there because usually my full time thing is being the lab coordinator. But we were short on actual instructors this year, so I have 2 of the labs for our first semester. For the most part, it's freshmen taking their first biology course. And we've got, I mean, the lecture, there's 3 different lecture sections, there's 9 different lab sections, and they each have like 16 to 18 students. So I got 2 of them this time. I've got Tuesday afternoon and Thursday afternoon. I actually get to teach lab. And for me, first day, I'm like, lab's fun. Lab is hands-on. We're gonna do
Yeah.
this together. We're gonna learn things, and you know, I was gonna say it's not all gonna be all fun all the time because there's stuff where we gotta talk. You gotta learn some skills, and then we're hands-on. Let's get hands-on as much as we can because that's what makes it fun. That's what gets people excited about what they're doing. Because just sitting back and listening is, to me, it's yes necessary. Got to get information. But paint dry, you know. It's
Yeah.
like I need something hands-on from me. That's just where my sweet spot is. I enjoy learning that way. It means more.
It does. And it sticks in your brain more when you
Yes.
physically do something, right? And or have an experience rather than sit in a desk and watch the teacher write on the board and reading books, right?
Yes.
You're actually out there learning through your experiences. You remember those, they're memories, right?
Exactly. Yeah,
Yeah.
one of our labs, we actually get to go out to the field station, and it is such a great day. We hop in the vans, we drive out. It's like, 15 minutes away, so it's not far, and it's a 70 plus acre field station. All of the students end up putting on hip waders. There's a stream there. We get in the stream, we collect some samples,
Nice. Yeah.
and I've actually driven for other classes over the years, and some of the classes, I'm not the instructor for those. I'm just there to be a driver, and I've observed other classes where they're like, well, whoever wants to put boots on, go ahead. You don't all have to. I'm like, when I teach that class, like, you're all putting them on. You're all getting in. Everybody gets to do this, and so it's not just the bold, outgoing ones doing it. It's like, I don't care if you're the shy one. Because back in the day, I believe it or not, introvert here, and so I know what it's like to be like, I don't know if I want to do that. It's, I got to step out of my comfort zone a little bit. It's like, no, everybody's doing it. It's all good. You're all going to get hands-on here. And I'm telling you, they get into it. As much as it can be a little intimidating at first because it's different, some of them are city kids that have never been anywhere where they got to walk in the woods. Oh my gosh. So,
My favorite thing is to go puddle jumping.
oh,
And
yes.
and we always have to tell the parents, don't put your child in their favorite Sunday best. Because we're finger painting, we're painting, we're in the mud, we're in the dirt, and we eat spaghetti sauce, and we're not here and having to make them sit down, be quiet, and eat and sit down. Like, no, we're doing everything. If they want to use their fingers, then let them use their fingers because you're going to be an adult for the majority of your life. Let's enjoy that childhood as much as you can, right? So yeah, we've
Yes.
had the odd complaint, like their child got a mosquito bite or they got
Oh,
some
no.
stain on their shirt, right? Like, well, that's because we're out having fun. Your kid wants to come back the next day. Your child asks when they're coming back. That's the whole point, and that's what should make you feel good. You don't have to do the mess at home. We'll do it for you, right?
So good. Yes.
Yeah.
Yeah, I love the experience that daycare provided for my daughter. I know was massive. They provided things that we couldn't have. It's like we're working, we got to clean the house, we got to do all the
Yeah.
things, that she had the opportunity to create these interactions with the other kids. She got to have those interpersonal skill building times
Social
when she
skills.
was
Yep.
tiny. And because there's kids that, that she's grown up with over the years, some of them don't have good interpersonal skills with the other kids. They
Mm-hmm.
don't. And it's tough. She learned
Yeah.
early on how to share, how to ask, how to say thank you, there's things that by being in a more social setting like that, you have to learn these skills and use those skills. And it's not something you're just, seeing on your screen as you're stuck in front of the TV for a while watching the cartoon or whatever it is, because mom's got to vacuum and do the things that she's doing. I found so much value that I didn't expect with having her going to a daycare center like she did growing up. I up and down absolutely love that experience for her.
Also, how do you build up an immune system if you're not around germs?
Yes.
Sorry, COVID, but you kind
yeah,
of learn a lot of immune system.
You're 100% true.
You have to get out there.
You do. As much as it's not
Exposure,
fun
yeah.
being sick, your body's built for that. You're built
Yes,
for
it
it.
is.
You've got to be able to handle those things. And yes.
Yeah.
I would say
Yeah, great.
when I think back, the only thing that I can imagine or that I can recollect going back
For sure.
was things like when the kids were in their teething stage. That was a tough time. The number of times my daughter got bitten by her friends because she just happened to be there, that type of thing. That's the only thing I remember through all the time where it's like, okay, somebody's got to figure out how to get a hold of this because, that got to be a little much. But if, that was the worst thing that happened in all the years she was there, that she had friends that actually were by her that much. And it all depends on how you look at it,
It's a natural childhood process. We all go through it.
Correct.
We've all done it. We've all been there, both the biter and the bitten. So
Yep.
it's just a natural phase stage, and all you can hope for is that it's short.
Correct. And some of those kiddos are some of her best friends yet today, and she's a high schooler now.
Yep.
Lifelong friends.
Of course. I love the stories because I used to teach a babysitting course way back in the day too. And I like to see at my age now where I'm seeing the kids that were in the centers when I was first out of college to now having kids of their own, and how they're
yes.
parenting their kids is sometimes amazing.
Isn't that amazing? Oh, that is so rewarding to see that and to be able to see the progress and how they've grown and changed and what they're doing and what choices they make like that.
Yes.
That's beautiful.
Yeah, it is. Yeah, it is.
So
That's education. Gotta love it.
absolutely. And now I know. So how long have you and Marianne known each other?
I met her in March.
Oh, so it hasn't been all that long. Okay.
No. Playing cards. Yeah, we met at a canasta game. In
Awesome.
San Carlos.
Yeah, my Canadian neighbors down the road have a weekly Wednesday card game, and so the ladies get together and they've been here for years. They even bought property. I've never heard of this place, but it's amazing. And so we were fill-ins, so because card players can be serious, right? So we're just the fill-in. Let us learn, and that's how we met. And anyway, she saw the apartment that I live in and said if I return, I'd like to come back down here. And it's a beautiful pool outside my door, spa, healing. The chiropractor came over and worked on us, Dr. Will, Eric, the massage therapist. I'm feeling so much better in my wrist now. And that was a strain, but also repetitive. Well, don't scroll. Okay. But that's doing stuff and, signing for a career, body is a wonderland. It will bounce back, but you just can't do it. And anyway, but it's good, Joy, because she's back in town. The boys are back in town on a sailboat. Parts break, things happen, and shift happens is what we say. So we don't say, we say shift, SHIF, shift happens moving forward. And anyway, it's great, Joy, to have my lady friends in the community, and Carla too, retired veteran nurse, for her services, and especially to be on the show with you guys and bringing, you know, amazing hosts too as well. So again, we are the good news, and you are the messenger, Sue. So go out and play with peace, love, happiness, and thanks. And again, as October is anti-bullying month, I just want to share you can see the book, probably not. There you go, Rabbit Eggs of Happiness, No Bully. Here's the coloring book. She's going to review them. All classroom teachers can get copies of the books from donorschoose.org. And yeah, it's all good. Just, when you're in that thought moment and creativity and go, really, is anybody going to use this? Why? The universe kept pounding me. And I'm so grateful it's done. It's like a thesis in a different way. And this is the universe and this is a life experience. And I also had a great opportunity. I told her too, I went over to the Crifts camp, the summer camp here in San Carlos. And I got to do a presentation with the books and the video of Dr. Fingers doing the ABCs in front of about 20 students here that, well, I'm in their country, speak Spanish. So I spoke English. I had a Mexican interpreter, where I'm usually the interpreter speaking in sign language. So it all worked out, and I just kind of told her it was great fun. So if I do something once a quarter, I'm happy and accomplished that, and that brings me joy. Just like last year, I know I wasn't present there in Hawaii. We gifted the school for the Hawaii School for the Deaf and Blind with Leanne McLaughlin, Clean Water Foundation, a water unit, as well as these books. And we won that Awesome Grant Foundation. So people are listening. Awesome Grant Foundation gives $1,000 away every month to projects in different states, different countries, and different venues so go out and play, so to speak, shine the light. So we are doing that. So I know that was last year, and this is this year, and 2026, we'll see what happens, and looking forward to Inspire World. And also too, so great people here on the show. We couldn't have done it with you, couldn't have come this far. And, that belief system or making things happen, that thought to action. And, in the morning too, it's like you wake up and okay, let's just do all the crap that I don't want to do first and get it done so I can enjoy the rest of the day. So we are bleaching the shoes this morning. Camden's back. I'm cleaning all my shoes, got all the shoes. She goes, oh my God, you got so many shoes. Well, I said, I have sailing shoes. I have these shoes. We went to a very elegant party. I said, well, we have these shoes too. And so I'm going to put them out in the sunshine to clean them up so we can walk and move forward with a ray of light also too. So these are good messages and all this, and great hosts. So I'm so glad you connected. So she's going to be here for a while here. So any other questions? And, you never know, you may want to put her on the radio show Wednesday night. So, and if not next Saturday, we can follow up with this topic and conversation. So again, we appreciate you, Sue Roscoff, Kurt Roscoff, the World of Ability, Jay Stoyan out of Toronto, the Disability Channel, with part of that grant, interviewed me last year as well. And I did get to take a trip to Vancouver through my neighbors. So, and I got to do some sailing too. So, sailing book signing tour, whatever. And who knows, it could be an RV book tour this year. Trina and Marianne and Captain Carla on the road with the RV. Yeah. Well, yeah, I've already learned a lot of stuff. Anyway, it's great fun. So we have a great community too, with the Riscati nurses that are retired. They're putting on events for the welcome home people here. So, senior living down here is just amazing and fabulous. And yeah, so go out and play is our tagline, Sue. So take it away. Back to you, Sue Roscoff. Adios.
And I know we were talking about playing another one of the book trailers. Did you have a preference which one I grab?
Let's do Underwater Acts of Kindness.
All right, I
Lori
will pull
Blatt.
that up.
That was the original book, and it shows the coloring books and Dr. Fingers, and she has the book in front of me also as well.
Excellent. All right, here we go. I'm going to go ahead and share my screen so you guys can see what I see. Here it is.
You could help save the ocean just by listening to a story. Set sail with Underwater Acts of Kindness. Join Noah, the hard of hearing humpback whale, and his marine friends as they take on the Great Pacific Garbage Patch on a journey between Hawaii and California. They discover an enormous pile of plastic, but with teamwork and courage, they plan to clean it up. With the guidance of Dod General of the New Earth Army, they rally ocean creatures and you to help restore our seas. Now available on Amazon Audible, listen as author Marianne of Waikiki narrates this inspiring adventure, featuring mesmerizing music by Lucy and the Perfect Wave and Nick's guitar, echoing the sounds of whales and dolphins. This book is dedicated to Boyan Slat, founder of The Ocean Cleanup, making waves for a cleaner future. Sing along with Noah's song and dive into a world of peace, love, happiness, and thanks. After reading, visit the Acts of Kindness series YouTube channel for more adventures. Learn the ASL ABCS with Dr. Fingers, the fingerspelling hermit crab on YouTube, kids. Get coloring books now at www.actsofkindnessseries.com and Amazon. Plus, grab your New Earth Army t-shirt and pledge to protect our planet. Underwater Acts of Kindness by Marianne of Waikiki. Available now on Amazon, Audible, and actsofkindnessseries.com.
Beautiful. All right. And yeah, we've got so many good things to be able to share like that. I love the videos. You've done such a good job putting those together.
Thank you. It was great fun. And yes, so she got thought to action. And yeah, amazing. And that's through Fiber Graphics. So we want to give a shout out to them. We'll be looking forward to Dale's AI babies and everything. And yeah, so everybody's had its part. And again, thank you, Trevor Gibbs, website detective, ADA compliance, to make sure my website is American Disabilities Act compliant, as well as he helped me upload these videos to YouTube. So Dale is working on these baby AI, so that will get the word out there as well. So good team, good people. You never know who you meet, what their background is, and to help it out and to, you know, clean up the oceans, stop bullying, be kind. And Santa Papa John too, our VIP, is promoting the books on TikTok. He just overachieved 100,000 followers. We nominated him for the Random Acts of Kindness car. Also Leon McLaughlin that, and Lori Barth, my editor. So, you know, we're doing things behind the scene to appreciate these people, to Stu and Lori variety show. And well, when Leon can join us, he'll give us an update with being interviewed by CNN and featuring that book, Underwater Acts of Kindness, as they were covering the Great Pacific Garbage Patch. Yeah, who would have thought to action? And I go, yeah, who would have thought I'd be in San Carlos, Mexico? A lot of people are coming down here. And
Good place to
we met
be.
another new friend, Yvonne from Washington State, with our other friend Lori, who's an artist. She's an amazing artist. She came down here and we were at a very nice, elegant party. And she did magazine work. So I briefly showed her Leon's cover of Gold Coast. Didn't want to really get into business or anything because we were out disco dancing and we had to let our foot loose. And I think Trina let her foot loose too. She just came up. Backs were hurting, but we had a good time. We celebrated Linda's son celebration birthday, Sun Around the World, and a great community party out here too. So, you know, so we got good things happening and people will be returning. And that is our message too, again. So you are the good news and you are a messenger. So go out and play, Sue.
Awesome. Well, and I want to give a quick shout out with Happy Neighborhood Project. There actually is an extra fun event going on this coming Friday. So it's actually Halloween. On October 31st, on that Friday, we always have HNP Worldwide taking place at it's 11 o'clock Pacific, 2 o'clock Eastern. Special event. It's going to be Rocktober, and our very own Chief Happiness Officer Edwin Adebary is going to be there. He's always there on this particular for the worldwide events on Fridays, but on this particular day, he is showing up as DJ Cho. He's going to be getting the music rolling. It's going to be party style, and being it's Halloween, come dressed as your favorite business person. I'm not sure who that is. I'm not sure what that's going to look like for everybody, but it's just an extra way to have some fun and keep it fun, make people smile. It's the Happy Neighborhood Project. We do have meetings all week long. We have our meetings listed at hnpabc.com. And when you go to the website, hnpabc.com, there's an events tab. Check out where it says networking, and it's got the hot link to every single program going on, all the meetings all week long. Kurt and I are among the co-hosts with that group, along with Emily. We're there on Wednesdays for the business to business group. That's Wednesdays at 1 o'clock Central. So you can always come and find us there. And the link and everything is on that page. So that's going to be the easiest thing to go, just go there. We utilize a program called Go Brunch, gobrunch.com. It looks a little different. It's kind of fun. It's Zoom-like, but it's just a different interface. So it is a lot of fun to be able to utilize that platform. And again, there's meetings going on all week long. Even on the weekend here, there is a meeting that takes place on Saturday mornings at 11 o'clock Central. And our good friend Debbie Miller is in charge of that one, and she keeps it fun. Everybody who shows up has a good time. You get to know each other a little better, and it truly is a fun way to go. So most of the meetings do take place during the business day, except for, again, on Thursday evening. We do have evening entrepreneurs, and Don is the guy. Don comes as the co-host for that one. And again, make sure it is a fun time. And you know what? This last Thursday, he was there as the co-host running the meeting. It was his birthday, so we actually had some extra fun celebrating him on last Thursday night for that event. And so again, I just extend that big invitation for this upcoming week. Join us at B2B on Wednesday at 1 o'clock Central. And for the Rocktober event on Friday at 11 a.m. Pacific, 2 o'clock Eastern for us, 1 o'clock again, 1 o'clock Central on Friday at the Happy Neighborhood Project worldwide event with Edwin himself. That's gonna be a lot of fun. I'm excited for what's all gonna happen at on that day at that time, because you know we all need a little excuse to have a party, right? Even this weekend, well, I should say with that event that's on Halloween, trick or treat. That's going on as well, right in our neighborhood here. It's today. It feels so early, but our village here, we always have it on the Saturday before I almost said Thanksgiving. My goodness. On the Saturday before Halloween, we get to do our trick or treat, which means it's today. This is as early as it can get with having Halloween on a Friday night. It feels way ahead, but it's going to be a fun night. We're going to have lots of kiddos coming through here. I'll share our little fun at our location. Back when it was COVID time and we still did trick or treat around here, we tried to do a little social distancing version where we set up this PVC pipe. It's a big one. I don't know if it's maybe 5 inches across, 4 inches. I forget now. I only dig it out once a year. We get it all set up on our, we have a ladder that we can do in a fun configuration. So I actually get that all set up on there, and I send candy down this, I want to say it's 7 feet long, a 7-foot long chute. We get to actually the kids love it. They tell them, put your bag at the bottom and catch your candy, and we'll keep sending it down, and then we always end up with something nice big at the end. And it's gotten to a point. There was one year where I didn't get it set up, and I had one little kid come through. He's like, where's the big game? He missed the week. So I'm like, I got it. I will always have that set up. So when we're off of here, that's my next thing. We're going to be starting trick or treat in about 2 hours from now. So I'm going to be going out and getting all decked out.
So I have one more shout out to Maru Hair and Nail Salon. She did my hair complimentary for the party this week. And
Yay!
yeah, so what a treat that was. And yeah, so we've been having a lot of girls' day. And yes, so go out and play is their tagline. Thank you so much on the Mark TV, nonprofit TV, for airing this today, and especially you, Sue Roscoff, Kurt Roscoff, and the Disability Channel, and our podcast engineer, Emily. So back to you and adios. So go out and play.
And that's what the day's all about. We're all going to go out and have some fun. We're going to play and share the good word with people along the way. So I'm so glad to have you here, Marianne. You're amazing. Trina, thank you so much for joining us today as well. It's been a pleasure getting a chance to talk to her as well.
And she just took photos of the books and she just sent it to her directors up in Canada. How cool is that? Immediate
That's
action.
perfect. I
Yes.
love it.
There we go. Great show. So there you go. All right.
That's what it's all about.
Adios. Gracias.
Adios. Have a great day, Marianne. Yeah, that's what it's all about, getting the word out there, sharing the good news, sharing all the fun. So really, go out and play. Go check out the YouTube Kids channel, the Apple App Games. Go have some fun. That's what this is all about. We are here every Saturday with World of Ability, with the World of Ability Podcast Network. We're here every Saturday from 1 till 3 p.m. Central. This again, I'm so grateful for the wonderful people that come and join us each week. We really do have a good time together here and are doing our best to share out good news, good information. And again, I'll go back here. John Kennedy, his website, combatbraintraining.com. combatbraintraining.com, and Marianne, of course, with her website, actsofkindnessseries.com. That website again, www.actsofkindnessseries.com. Go check them out. See what you can learn while you're at those locations. And again, we are here. Love to have you join us. Feel free to email me, abilityradio@gmail.com, and we'd love to have you join us. Till next time, as always, from all of us here with the World of Ability Podcast Network,